guys, it's Ava. So today I wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind quite a bit, and it's something that I have mentioned a little bit in my previous videos, but I've never really gone into depth about it. And that topic is being single, going through your whole life being single, never having a relationship. And that's something that, I'm going through. I'm 22, almost 22, and I've never had a boyfriend. I've gone on, I've dated one guy, dated loosely, but I've never had a boyfriend. I've never really experienced any of that, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been really hard to deal with lately, and people might hear that and be like, okay, why is it such a big deal? It shouldn't matter that you've never had a boyfriend, be independent, be strong, and yeah, that is something that I'm trying to remember, and it's true, I shouldn't be so focused on having a relationship because it's not everything, but that doesn't mean that it's not something that, gets me down sometimes. Doesn't mean that I don't get lonely, that I don't get sad because I feel like I'm missing out or I'm late in the game, and the reason I wanted to make this is because I know that there's so many other girls that are dealing with this too. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos or listening to songs about this topic, and I've seen in the comments that so many other girls are going through this. So I just want them to know they're not alone, and to know, if anyone's watching this that is around my age or maybe younger or older, and feels like they're never gonna find love, feels like it's too late, feel like they're too inexperienced, I understand the pain you're going through. I feel it. I've cried myself to sleep so much over this topic, and I feel like people don't understand that, had boyfriends in high school and it was the normal time, that people deal with this, and it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, but I think we think in our minds that it is a bad thing. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. So I guess I'm gonna talk about me. I'm 22. Yeah, and I've never had a relationship. I had boys that I liked in high school, and one of them liked me back, and it was kind of an off and on thing all throughout high school. But I was so shy, so insecure in my body, just in every aspect. I was insecure about myself. And looking back, I'm honestly happy that I didn't have a boyfriend at that time, because if I had a boyfriend at that time in my life, I just know that it would have caused more problems, even though it would have been oh, I got to experience having my boyfriend. I just know I would have been so skeptical in the whole relationship, so insecure, and I just know it wouldn't have been good for me. And I know the relationships, especially high school relationships, don't last, and it's fun to just experience, but I'm just not the type of person that hooks up or dates for fun. If I'm gonna date someone, I want it to end up somewhere. And maybe that means, okay, no guy's gonna wanna be with you then if you are so set on finding the one. Doesn't mean I'm gonna marry the guy that I date. It just means that I want there to be a reason for it. I don't want it just to be a hookup. And yeah, I listen to songs by Taylor Swift and I don't know, any song really, and I used to get really sad because it was okay, the norm is to experience love, the norm is to experience dating when you're a teenager, but I've never experienced that, and I honestly thought there was something wrong with me because I didn't date in high school, because I didn't feel like boys liked me, because I didn't, and I thought it was because of me. I thought that meant there was something wrong with me. I didn't think I was pretty enough for boys. I thought that I was too shy, too quiet for a guy to ever like me. And I don't know, I was just so insecure, From the age of 14 to 18, I struggled with an eating disorder. And, obviously that, when I look back, as I was saying earlier, it wasn't the right time for me to have a boyfriend. And even though, I'm over that now, I'm still so insecure, and I'm so, I don't know, unsure of who I am. I'm still trying to find out who I am, just like I was before. And maybe it just means, maybe me being single for 22 years just means that I'm not ready. and that's something that I gotta, be content with, because I am religious, I believe in God, and I'm trying so hard to accept that God has a plan for me, because sometimes, I don't know, like, especially in my high school days, it felt like I didn't have a plan, that I was going nowhere, and sometimes it still does, but I have to remember that just because something isn't happening for me right now doesn't mean it never will. It just means that the timing isn't right. And I'm trying so hard to realize that, like, God has a guy for me that's gonna understand my weirdness. He's gonna understand that sometimes I'm just not very talkative, and that guy's gonna be right for me. And that really honestly gives me hope, because I get really down sometimes about not having a boyfriend. And I feel it's so hard because, like, when I think about one day dating someone, because I know I have to know what's gonna happen eventually. Like, that's something that, I mean, like, a year ago, I didn't think I would ever even have a first kiss. I didn't think that I would ever go on a date with someone. And that ended up happening, even though it didn't turn into a relationship. And I was kind of let on in the situation. I didn't even think a guy would ever ask me out. And it actually happened when I was least expecting it. That's kind of the reason why I got hope in my head, like it was going to turn into something. Because I was like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for so long. I've been saying, like, I'm never going to meet someone. A guy's never going to ask me out. And then it happened. So I just assumed it was going to turn into something. And it didn't, which I was disappointed. But, I'm glad I experienced what I experienced, even though it didn't turn into something. I finally kissed someone at 21. Yeah. And sometimes it's hard because it's like, okay, I'm 22, I'm almost 22 at the end of this month, and all I've ever done is kiss someone. I've never obviously had sex. I didn't even hold hands with someone until last year, okay? Like, that's how, I don't want to say pathetic, because I know other people are going through this, but it's fucking hard sometimes to, like, think that anyone's gonna want to be with me, because I'm so inexperienced, and I feel like it's a turn off to some people. And I'm sure my shyness does have something to do with it. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep positive, because I've been so sad about this for so long. That has weighed so heavy on me, and, like, I haven't really talked to a lot of people about it, just because, like, when I bring it up to my friends and stuff, they're just like, okay, like, guys shouldn't be number one. It's like I said at the beginning of this, like, yeah, that's fucking true, but, like, it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt at the same time, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to keep positive, and if anyone is watching this that is going through the same thing, yeah, I just know that you're not alone. Like, I understand, and I just know that, like, just because you're single, even if you have had relationships and at this point you're single and you're sad about that, like, doesn't mean that you're unwanted, doesn't mean you're undesirable. It just means that you're not meant to be with that person at this moment in your life, and that's okay, With the guy that I dated last year, it didn't work out, and I'm kind of okay with that, because it just means he wasn't the one for me. And I'm okay with that, because one day, as the wise Taylor Swift once said, I'm gonna find someone someday that might actually treat me well. And when that day comes, I'm gonna look back at this point in my life, and I'm gonna remember that I was so sad about something that would eventually happen for me. And it's gonna happen when the time is right. It's gonna happen when I'm secure with myself and happy. And I have hope that the day will come. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.